Hello and welcome to the Running Sentences podcast. This is going to be a quick update on what's coming now that the year has passed with this podcast, our first season, so on and so forth. So firstly, thank you to any listeners who gave my stories a shot or felt they were worth listening to. It is appreciated that you would take that chance. And now an update on what's coming down the line. Starting in October and running through December will be Bumbling Humbling Nights, a story about a night rescue agency that gets sent out on its first job. Well, one of the knights does. A lot of shenanigans for a knight to get up to with magic and so on and so forth, so I do hope you will take a listen and see if a fairy tale fantasy is up your alleyway. I should note, there's 2 weeks in November that are off for the podcast. I won't be releasing an episode because of Veterans Day and Thanksgiving, both of which fall on a Thursday, and that's my release day, so please know that going into this odd 9-part adventure story. Once that's over, and coming up into January, is my second story of Season 2. It's one that's all about God and religion. God has come to Earth and found a prophet, and, well, goes off about as well as one can expect. Lots of crazy questioning stuff going on about religion and whether prophets can make a good religion. That's probably going from January to March 2022, but depends on how things work out and how much writing still needs to be done on it. That leaves our April for the start of what will be the third story that's being worked on. And it is a heroic story of a young man who decides to become a superhero, but he has no superpowers. There is also a lot of weirdness to explore with such decisions for a young man who has spent much of his life closed off from the outside life. It's going to start in April probably. I don't know how far beyond that it's going to go. It'll probably be at least 2-month series, maybe 3-month series. Depends on how much needs to go into that. Beyond that, there's going to be at least one more story, maybe 2. I have an idea for a story. It has to do with time and criminals and stealing and so on, but it's really up in the air for now. It's all up in the air, and everything is subject to change as life dictates that, so life will say what it wants when it wants, and so I'd have to go with that. And so with all that said, thank you for listening to my stories this year, and hopefully you will continue to listen, and I hope that I've created something worth listening for you. Also, if you could be so kind as to share this podcast with your friends, or maybe your enemies if you wish to inflict that on somebody. So if you are enemies with someone, hi, sorry, maybe not sorry, but sharing is much appreciated, and if you don't want to, that's cool too. Hopefully you guys will listen to more of my podcast. Thank you, and hopefully you will listen to my next story. I'll see you guys later.